Okay, welcome everybody to Borough of Green Tree Council meeting for Monday, April 3rd, 2023. Let it be known that the council was in executive session with personnel and police candidate interviews. So we will start off with a moment of silence for your own personal intention, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Kim.
Ms. Barrett,
Here.
Mr. Lindsay,
Here.
Mr. Panza,
Here.
Mr. Ray,
Here.
Mr. Romanovich, Mr. Carosi,
Present.
Mr. Tintori,
Present.
Mayor Shay.
Thank you very much. Next up, approval of the minutes for the March 6th, 2023 meeting.
So moved.
We have a motion, second. All in favor?
Aye.
I would like to abstain because I was not in attendance. Okay, now I would like to have a hearing of the citizens. Anyone wishing to address council on any general business or agenda items, please step up and state your name.
Good evening. I'm Cheryl Bacon from 884 Green Tree Road. I'm a business owner and a resident of the borough for over 23 years. I'm the person that sponsors the Green Tree women's softball team and have for a number of years. The Green Tree women's softball team has used the Aiken Green Tree Park field for 12 years as their home field. I also donate to the Oktoberfest car cruise and regularly donate to other charities and groups in the borough, like the Green Tree Garden Club, the Women's Car Club, Guardian Angel Academy, and Aiken Elementary School. About 2 weeks ago, my softball team was advised that their use of the Aiken fields this year for their softball games, of which there were 12 home games, would cost them $1,800 for the year. This was far beyond what I know that they've ever paid before. This was announced to them with no warning and less than 48 hours before the team had to pay their league fee to participate in the softball league. I'd like to know when these fees were discussed by council and voted upon in a public meeting, and why this fee was set with them with no prior notice. Have there been large fees like this and increases that are passed on to other teams and groups that are using our fields or using community assets like the swimming pool? My team has now been disbanded because of this severe price gouging action, something that we never saw in the 18 years that Mr. Panza and Mr. Novak were involved in charging for the fields. This team will probably and most likely not be able to regroup for 2024 because the women have now joined other teams in other areas of the county. While I agree that it may be necessary to charge a fee for the use of these community assets, the fees need to be set and voted upon in a public forum, published and advertised in advance, and they need to be non-discriminatory. These women brought business to our community. They bought food, they bought dinners, they bought gas. Their friends and family did the same thing and came to watch them at all their home games. They helped to promote our community as a good community to come and have fun in. I hope that these actions will be more carefully considered in the future. I believe that these secret and behind closed door actions may have violated the sunshine laws. I sincerely hope that this price gouging scheme will be rescinded tonight and that all future fee schedules will be voted upon and approved in public. I also would like to say that I believe there needs to be a cost associated with teams using the field. But I think the cost has to be a reasonable cost, and I think it has to be publicized to them well in advance, not just 48 hours before their season has to commence with their fees. Thank you very much for your time.
I can start. I'll start with that, Judy. So a few things and thank you for bringing this to us. We have discussed it at public meetings. We did discuss fees last month pertaining to this specifically. And there have been multiple updates that this was something that we were discussing in these meetings. Nothing has officially been voted for pricing. That will come at a future meeting. And there is in the outline that I did put into with the entire my committee, which is myself, Mr. Ray and Mr. Ivanovich, who isn't here tonight. We do have pricing in there that does reflect all of the wonderful things that our Green Tree businesses do, and that there would be a price for Green Tree businesses who want to use our fields. That would be the same as what residents pay to use our fields. We also have discussed pricing for and not charging at all for nonprofits who want to use the field for youth-oriented sports. And really the largest prices increase is coming from folks who have used and will continue to use our field for tournaments that are for profit, that they're running for their profit entities. The last that I heard, no one from the specific group that you're talking to reached out to me personally. I didn't talk. Everything I think went through Miss Miller here, so she can talk about how that was handled, and our fields, which were discussed in previous meetings, that they would open up for anyone to schedule after April 15th. So
my question is, we haven't voted on the fees yet.
Correct,
So
we
how
have not.
did we get from whatever they were paying before to 1,800?
Yeah, who told him that?
Yeah.
I did not tell them that.
Now, the only thing I could think of, so, hi Cheryl, no, I won't say her name, it's irrelevant, but I got an email about scheduling the women's softball, and my understanding is that they typically used it every Sunday, pretty much all day. So this is not just a local team. These are teams, I think that's a league of maybe 15 teams from the Pittsburgh area. And apparently what I was told initially, I think in the initial email, was that they needed it for Sundays, I think like from noon to 8 p.m. And I said, well, you know what, I'm gonna have to get back to you because the field, the public properties committees, we're talking about trying to assess some fees to help cover the cost to maintain the fields, because I know GAA is a big user of the field and they help with the maintenance. They buy products to help maintain the field and they do some labor to help maintain the field. So the discussion was really just to try to get a little buy-in from everybody using the field. So through my conversations with the individual who was representing the league, never at any time did she mention being associated with the Green Tree business. That never came up, not once. And then I was asking her about, well, who makes up the league? Is it mostly Green Tree residents? She said she didn't know. And she said she believes some of the women live close to Green Tree, maybe Green Tree City, but she didn't know that they were, which I realize isn't place. But so, at this point now I'm looking at a league that I have no knowledge that is associated with the business. Little to none of the people in the league are from Green Tree. So it seems like it's an outside league wanting to use a Green Tree field. So, we discussed that at public property to try to include that in our rate consideration. So, it's a non-Green Tree group using a Green Tree field. So again, never any mention of the Green Tree resident or that it was a Green Tree business, little to no Green Tree residents on the team, as she told me. And I did not set fees. I told her what we were considering. But never at any time did I tell her that this is what it would cost you. And in fact, my last email with her, I told her I was going to be a proponent. So I was visited by a representative of another local community where the same league uses their fields, and then they charge them, I think, like $300 a season. And I talked with her about this. And again, most of my communication with her is through email. And I did tell her, I said, we continue to talk about it. The conversation is evolving. And, when you really look at the numbers, that does seem like a lot. It's really just a bunch of people that just want to recreate. Right? They're not trying to make money. They just want something to do. And so that's where towards the end, we're like, do we want to think of maybe like a $200 to $300 a season type thing and say it's for, 4 slots per month. And that's kind of where the conversation ended. We had got cut short a little bit on our last committee meeting, but they were never told $1,800. I mean, they might have done math on their own based on the preliminary draft. But we
never had all of,
my communication with her is all by email. So
and it sounds like from what you've told us tonight that we never had the complete information, and the fee schedule the fees that we discussed at our last meeting for Green Tree businesses and Green Tree leagues and Green Tree residents is a flat fee of $30 for 2 hours of play, for as many times as you would need it. And that is just if like a business or a league or anyone just in this neighborhood wanted to use our fees. So we did not have knowledge that it was any type of Green Tree business or anything associated with anyone in our borough to make those decisions.
I will say it did sound completely unrelated to Green Tree.
It did.
Maybe a resident or 2 in the league, but which she could not verify. So, and again, I always, my door's always open. I always take calls. So, I just, in the future, I would just really encourage you to give me a call and we could talk about it. And I could have given you all of the information and that, I had discussed with this individual, and the conversation was, was great. It was just back and forth, and, we might've gotten started a little bit later on the booze than we would have liked, but,
it's a new thing.
it's a new thing. And, and we even, really my last conversation, like our last communication with council was, this is something where let's do it for this year. It might not be perfect. And then we can look at maybe the problems that it either causes or the problems that it helps to resolve, by having a little more buy-in by the groups and organizations that use the field. So,
Yeah.
and I think that's the concern, right? It's just like the pool, it's open, there's higher fees for non-residents. And I think that this kind of is, very similarly aligned with respect to that policy. So,
Yeah, and we have brought it forth in these public meetings. I've included updates this entire year. And perhaps do not quote me and without going back and looking the minutes, but even in 2022. Mhm.
And when you talk about transparency and communicating, one of the things that I've been wanting to do, again, things, sometimes move a little slower because other things take priority. But one of the things I'm a big advocate for is to have a fee schedule. And that schedule is inclusive of everything from building permits to pool fees to rec summer camp to grading permit, right? So you can open up the Green Tree fee schedule and you can kind of just go down through and you can find fees for everything. You don't have to look through a bunch of different ordinances, or we don't have to pass the pool fees by resolution here and then maybe building permit fees over here. It's all on one fee schedule. And I think that that's the best way to create that level of transparency for the residents, for the businesses, for everybody. So again, I apologize that I feel like maybe it's a little bit of the circle story where it started out here. By the time it got passed around the group, it turned into something that it was not, but $1,800 was not,
It would never be the case for that.
I mean, I'll go back through my emails, but it doesn't seem like, unless somebody, I think maybe there just might have been some math based on some preliminary numbers, but that goes back over a month ago. So I hope that helps.
I have a question.
Yes,
Why don't we have it on tonight's agenda?
because we're not done discussing it.
great, but aren't the fields being used in April?
There's no requests for field usage by groups, like it's mostly all GAA right now.
And we're
It's
not,
GAA
and
and
we don't,
rec.
we're not charging them.
No, we never touched.
We'd have never.
They have.
It'll be on next month.
That's
Yeah,
all,
that-
May first agenda.
And that was included in Judy's
And what do
update
we
this
do in
week.
the interim if we get approached by a different group?
We're just handling it on a case by case basis right now, which has been the status quo.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Dorothy Voigt, 108 East Manila. I'm the treasurer of the Green Tree Garden Club. And on behalf of our president, Kevin Maurer, and the other officers, we would like to thank you for your consideration of our proposal for the update of the municipal garden. We're hopeful that we can move forward with some of our plans. And we also want to invite you all to our upcoming spring festival on Saturday, May 13th. May 13th? Yeah, Saturday, May 13th.
That was on my update to tell everyone about tonight. Thank you.
Excellent. Anybody else?
Maybe I could just say while the Green Tree Garden Club is
While you're
here.
waiting, she just give a, you can
No, you come on up.
step up.
I just will let you know that the shed was purchased today. And the public works crew will get moving to remove the tree and get it constructed. Thank you so much.
Judy's stealing my
Maybe I'm
thunder.
thanking council. I'm sorry. It just seemed like timing was there.
Yeah, it was good.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name's Tim Runco. I live at the end of Glencoe Avenue. And I'm here for two issues. One is a storm drain that goes through my property that comes from Arla. It's much higher. It's a different neighborhood. And it's eroding my property. I have a fence. I had to move it in once. Looks like I got to do it again pretty soon. And I'm losing yard. I've lost yard. And it's significant and it's an issue. I need help with this. I've tried a bunch of things. I've tried to fix it myself. But nothing, there's so much water that comes down from that neighborhood. I've lived at 1451 for 21 years. I built my house 21 years ago. It was never this bad. It's just in the last 5 years. I don't know why. But it's an issue. It's pretty bad and it's causing me problems. I just, I'm at my wit's end. I would like help if you guys can do that. I have some pictures of the storm drain. You can pass these on.
Thank you.
How it comes next to my, it's in my property. The second issue is the condition of the Glencoe Avenue towards the end. It's in terrible disrepair. Years ago, it was oiled and not years ago, probably 10, 12 years ago, it was oiled and pebbled. What do you call that? Chips, yeah. Yeah. We just want at the end of Glencoe what everyone else has, a nice road. And I can tell you that it's popular. We do get traffic. The trail with people walk on the trail at the end of Glencoe if you've ever taken a ride down there. And there's families, people walking their dog all the time. On my way here, there were 3 dog walkers and a lady in a pushing a baby carriage. And it's embarrassing a little bit when I have guests over and they got to drive on this road. I think it's time to fix that road. I hope it's in your plans, but if I may, none of you have gone down there. I invite you to take a ride down there. If not, take a look at those pictures and pass them on. And finally, I just ask you to please consider those issues. And hopefully help me out.
Yeah, I will, thank you for coming and obviously passing along your concerns to all the council. I did speak with Mr. Runco this afternoon. And, I'm gonna be out tomorrow anyways. We have Leonard Smith on site for another issue, so I told Mr. Runco that we would, be trespassing on his property, so don't let the dog out.
You can come anytime.
Yeah, and then as far as Glencoe is not on the list for paving. Certainly though, while we're out there, I'm gonna, I'll Smith with me. If there's any type of minimal repair we could do until it can be included on a full paving.
It's
Certainly.
that area is a gem for this borough. People are down there all the time. People park their cars across from my driveway and walk through the trail. You put park benches on the trail. The trail is nice. There's 3 park benches. It's cleaned and maintained and no motor vehicles are allowed. And it's a nice walk. People jog on it, walk on it, take their kids on it. So please look into that.
Absolutely. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want these nice photos back there?
I don't know, doing.
Well, we'll be out there,
They look
so
pretty expensive.
It's a road that hasn't been fixed in many years.
I mean, you know what? I could take them with me and then I could bring us, drop them at with you
That'd be great.
tomorrow. Sure.
Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Bus Ellis. I live at 1305 Green Tree, corner of Green Tree and McMonagle. Sort of like the first and last house in Green Tree. And I'm really concerned about the basically the lawlessness of traffic on the road. There are cars that shouldn't be on the road making noise. Cars that when they see the light coming up at McMonagle, they speed up, 40 to 50 miles an hour just to make the light. And loud music. There is an ordinance, which I looked up one time, within 50 feet of a residence can be cited. An officer driving through the plan through forest in a residential area is not doing anybody any good. They need to sit somewhere either at that nursing home and catch people running lights and whatever else is done. I mean, it's terrible out there. So that's about all I just like to know if there's any sort of like who takes charge of policing activities. Does the mayor say what has to be done? Does the police chief does he tell the officers what to do?
Well, I think typically it would come from somebody like yourself, a report to the department, and then the officer in charge, which currently is our lieutenant, could then maybe initiate some action. Certainly that officer would write things through the mayor. But I don't see any reason why they wouldn't come out and take a look and give it an extra patrol to see what they might be able to.
I mean, I quit calling about 2 years ago because they wouldn't come out. They'd come out and then they'd drive around for a little while. But I mean, cars, obviously when they see an officer, everybody, takes it easy.
And then maybe what I could do is before you leave, I can get your phone number and we can follow up with you.
Okay,
Okay,
sure, that'd be great.
sure.
Thanks.
Happy to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you very much. Next up, we have a proclamation and I will read it. We have a proclamation designating the week of April 9th through the April 15th, 2023 as local government week and April 12th, 2023 as local government day. So whereas local government in Pennsylvania is comprised of more than 4,500 individual units. And whereas more than 12 million residents of the Commonwealth rely on the services and facilities provided by local government. And whereas local government is comprised of thousands of hardworking resident officials and employees that and employs thousands of dedicated staff members who carry out the directives of the local elected officials and who are assisted by thousands of tireless volunteers who serve on various local boards and commissions. And whereas the success of our local officials is a key element in the overall quality of life in this Commonwealth. And whereas it is fitting that each year in the Commonwealth, 1 week is set aside as local government week, and 1 day as local government day, which focuses attention on the need for strong, independent, and active local government in this Commonwealth. And it recognized the valuable contributions made by residents serving their communities. Now therefore be it resolved that the Green Tree Borough Council and Mayor designate the week of April 9th through the 15th, 2023 as local government week, and April 12th, 2023 as local government day in Pennsylvania, resolved and adopted this day, the 3rd day of April, 2023. And in conjunction with that, everyone here who's been an elected official has taken classes in local government. I have been a board member of Local Government Academy for a number of years. I was the chairman of the board for 6 years. And we certainly believe in that's the way you educate your officials, is to take advantage of what we have out there to provide education, networking so that the government officials can better do our job and help our citizens in our borough. So it's apropos that we celebrate that day, and that everybody on council has been a big member of getting the education and growing. So we're up, and we've been designated a banner community. So we are a community that is all buy-in for this, and we just want to make sure everybody knows it. So we wanted to make that proclamation.
Believe it or not, they're not in it for the money.
To celebrate, I'm doing nothing next week.
Perfect.
Don't call me.
So thank you very much. Now we'll move on to our new business. First up, finance and general policy, Mr. Truss.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I would like to move that we ratify the actions of the borough manager in paying the March 2023 invoices from the general fund totaling $102,810.02, and credit card February 23 totaling $2,607.59.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Therefore, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Next, I would like to move to approve the payment of the April 2023 invoices from the general fund totaling $147,151.56. The storm sewer fund totaling $1,121.75. The sanitary sewer maintenance fund totaling $782.85. Capital projects totaling $7,024.14. And the bond fund totaling $16,802.47.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
And finally, I would move to authorize the borough manager to lien the 2022 unpaid real estate taxes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes.
That's all my business.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have the mayor's report. He's not with us tonight, but I know he's watching.
He is watching, and he did
Mayor.
say that we are gonna look into that McMonagle intersection. Send me a message.
Mayor, we're sorry you can't give your report tonight. We miss you, but we'll see you next month. Okay, we'll move on to the reports from committees. First up, finance and general policy. Mr. Trosi.
I have no new report tonight.
Thank you very much.
I'm with Since we're on finance, and we brought this, and I'm just doing this for clarity's sake. We brought this up under finance and general policy, I believe, when we were passing, when we tabled the pay raises for the employees. And we got into a discussion that, we felt that they needed to have, reviews before we passed that. I came to find out after the fact that it's already existing in our policy manual. So we were discussing that for reasons that we didn't need to discuss. Now, it's well laid out. I'm not throwing shade at anybody because I didn't know either, so. But moving forward, I guess it doesn't have to be a discussion anymore because it's already in our policy. I just said, since we brought it up and had a discussion, I wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up, infrastructure. Mr. Romanovich is not here. Does anyone want to speak anything on infrastructure? Anybody from that committee?
I got enough problems.
Okay, next up, planning and zoning, Mr. Ray.
Yeah, planning and zoning, the planning commission is finishing up the comprehensive plan. They intend to submit it to the county next month. They're also working on a draft trash can maintenance ordinance that they're gonna propose to our committee. I attended the Easter egg hunt that was on what day was it? Saturday. That was put on by the library. They did an awesome job. It was in memory of a longtime Green Tree resident, Candy Weber, who was like my second mom in the summers, down on Sheila. Her entire family was there, like her entire family was, which is a great event. I'm sure Shannon's gonna address this in her report, but we're in the garden. I said to Kevin, not only does this fence need to be installed to protect the plants, but also is a safety, it's the fence, there was probably 100 people in that garden with an active parking lot, so when we talk about the fence, I think it's something that we should really consider installing this year in the borough, covering the cost to keep out the deer and keep the kids safe. That's the end of my report.
Okay, next up, public facilities and equipment, Ms. Barrett.
Yeah, I have a few things. So I'm gonna start at the top of my list. So the Wilson Field wall reconstruction, the wall is complete. There will be final grading and seating on the first baseline. It's in progress right now. The baseball field, it will be available for practice and informal play only. The soccer fields are restricted so that we do have time to have that grass grow. Additional work will be performed in the fall so that the field is fully restored and would be in good condition for spring 2024. Speaking of fields, which I touched on earlier, we should all expect to see the fields fees in the May 2023 meeting. Until then, we're still going status quo, actually a little bit more than status quo, that we are actually reviewing things as they come in. Before there was no transparency in terms of who got fields. So we are handling those on a case-by-case basis. But at the time of this meeting, there are no requests for field usage outside of GEA at this meeting. Doesn't mean someone didn't put something through today. For the fire hall, the fire company's fob system installation is complete. And so we're just awaiting the final software assignments. They're pending. The social hall vestibule, Ms. Miller has let us know that a preliminary design was presented and is being reviewed by staff to accommodate some of their recommendations. We have not seen anything at this point, but we're expecting that an early summer construction would be planned for that. The gym painting project is complete with the exception of the painting of the doors. Public Works did a really awesome job on that project. And then we've gotten multiple compliments from community members who are using that space. The garden club, the shed was ordered today. We had a fantastic meeting with them last month and really made a lot of progress in thinking about what their needs are for the garden and the hard work they do. And that what we also have identified as important projects for our community. Mr. Ray mentioned the fence. Our committee is in agreement that fence is very important, especially yes, to keep the deer out and to keep the garden club's fantastic work in bloom, but also to ensure the safety of all of those who use it. The borough administration is reaching out to fence companies to get updated fencing estimates, since the one that we had before was a little older. And we'll continue to update here as we have more information. And please come to their event on May 13th. It is being held here, and there will be kind of activities all over the place. Even the library is going to be hosting some drop-in garden crafts for children. So, I mean, it will be a really fun community event. Lots of raffle baskets and vendors, and I think it'll be a really good day. I'm contributing a wine basket, and I have really good wine, if anyone's interested in that. And then finally, the library. I did want to take a note to mention that the library's Easter egg hunt held this past Saturday was named in honor of Candy Weber. Candy had been a remarkable library supporter and volunteer for a number of years. Candy started volunteering at the library when I was the assistant director here. And she stuffed every Easter egg for that event for over a decade. So we're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of eggs for our families and children of Green Tree to enjoy. She was passionate about the library. She was passionate about children. She loved her family. She loved Green Tree. She was loved by her neighbors. And it's an honor that we were able to name that event after her. And it will be continued to be an event named after her for many years to come. So thank you all. That's my report.
Thank you very much. Next up, we'll move into public safety and public safety equipment. Mr. Lindsay?
I don't have anywhere near that much to report. Couple
Start
things.
doing your job.
What's that?
You should start doing your job.
Yeah,
Taking the day off.
I'm taking next week.
Acclamation.
So, first thing, the fire company last week mailed out their yearly solicitation mailing to all the residents and businesses. So keep an eye out for that. That's the only fundraiser that the fire company does, with the exception of the Sportsman's Bash in September. So if you receive anything else in the mail, besides direct from them, in the next, well, everyone probably should have received it already. Then it's not associated with the fire company, the local fire company. So if you've contributed in the past, thank you very much. If you haven't, moving forward, please consider, so that we can still continue to have them run as a fully volunteer organization. Second of all, 5 months ago, I introduced a proposal from a resident and member of the volunteer fire company, Jim Eborn, to start looking at our emergency management plan. That was tabled. 5 months have gone by, and I am here to find out what the resolution of this is going to be. I have not heard any information from anybody.
Well, that item was moved to my committee. And my committee was in charge of figuring out which direction to go. I had a chance, I looked over what the mandate was from the state of what we were directed to do with our emergency management plan. I had a committee meeting with my committee, and basically we needed to update the plan. And we also need to perform a mock emergency drill in the next year or so. My committee, there's 3 members on my committee. 2 of my members voted not for my committee not to handle rewriting this plan. They felt we were not qualified, and they wanted a qualified person to rewrite the emergency management plan. So we brought that to the president of council, and he indicated that he would look to see if we could get some help from the county and some more direction of what we should do. And I believe Mr. Tarosi was also in talks with the county about if we would get, if they have someone to help us rewrite the plan. But it's being worked on. It's just a lot of people have different ideas of how they would like this to be completed. I thought after speaking with my committee that we wanted to go back with the professional, Mr. Eborn. And that's where we had left it last. However, nothing's happened because other members of council wanted to look at one last avenue before we made a commitment to Mr. Eborn. So I fully looked at everything, saw what's necessary. And you know, when my committee votes 2-1 not to continue, I have to go ahead and take into account what my committee feels. And then agree with them to have a professional come in to our emergency management plan. And during the course of all this, of course, you have the train derailment in East Palestine, which shows it is probably very important to have an emergency management plan for the borough. So that's basically where it's left. And do you have a plan to resolve this? I mean, I would love to hear it.
Me?
Yes. But I know you passed this.
I was waiting to hear from Mr. Tarosi as well. He's the other one that said he was gonna take advantage or take control of this, but it's been 5 months.
I will say I did just receive a communication and excuse me, I can't remember exactly where the email originated from, but it was with regard to emergency preparedness and funds that are currently being provided to help communities with their efforts to create and maintain emergency preparedness programs. So I actually had just forwarded that to Art late last week, council president. And I think it's something that we should talk about, because if we do need to get a professional engaged and we do need to pay somebody, I think it would be very, worth our while to at least see if there's some funding out there that could help us and some expertise that could help us get there. I think for communities the size of ours, that's a reasonable ask.
Yeah, we made contact with the head of the county's, what is it, the official
Yeah, the emergency
management, and they said, give us a call, we'll be able to help you. You shouldn't be able to have to get somebody and pay all this money. We can help you do this. Didn't get a chance to talk to him before I left.
Help us do what?
Put the plan together.
Put the plan together and make it so that we're up to speed. So they said, talk to us. So I have not talked to them, so I don't know where, if how that fits in yet, but they were saying, before you do that, be happy to talk to you. I was not around the last few weeks. I don't know if you got a hold of him, but we do have the head of the county who said, yeah, call me, we could talk to you. So we haven't done it, but we're still okay.
We're gonna kick it down some more.
No, the plan is out there right now. It's not like we don't have anything. It's not like we have nothing. There is a plan there. We
Yeah,
probably
we
need.
have a plan. We have no coordinator. We're one of
We don't
three.
have a coordinator.
We're one of 3 communities. Last time I checked, in Allegheny County doesn't have one. We haven't had one in over 2 years.
So we all have to sit down and decide.
I tried to have us decide 5 months ago. Nothing's happened since.
So I'm gonna
Since 16.
16 was the last time.
officially appointed, but
No, it was Dave Monson who retired.
Yeah, so
but
it's been
that's when he was appointed, but he left and went, I don't know.
2021.
The last
2021.
building code official was, or like the last code enforcement officer was trying to.
So I'll be happy, we didn't get in touch with the county, find out what we need to do and look at the alternatives and see where we're at. That's where I have it. So I can tell you.
All right, so next month, we're gonna be ready to go.
I hope so. If not, we're gonna keep working on it until we get a good plan that everyone is buying to and that solves our problems.
I guess I'll keep bringing it up.
Okay, you'll be part of the decision, so don't worry, we won't.
I'll be part of the decision, all right. That's why I'm sitting up here. That's the end of my report.
Thank you very much. Recreation and programming, Mr. Panza.
Thank you. This month, I wanted to focus on the upcoming farmers market. The farmers market is about 5 to 6 weeks away. And of course, as you know, it's every Thursday from 4 till 7 p.m. And this year, it will also coincide with 9 separate concerts in the park that will start as soon as the farmer market ends. And the concerts in the park are, I think they begin in June and they run till August. And I do realize, I was told that our recreation committee and our director made an exerted effort to bring in a number of food trucks this year. I was hoping there would be a list on our new website, but there isn't. As a side note, I also noticed whoever put up what we're doing for recreation excluded Oktoberfest, but I'll ask later who fills that stuff in on the new website. But anyways, we're really looking forward to the farmers market. It was questioned last year whether we had enough volunteers, but I have to give the recreation team credit that they want to pursue this and go ahead, because they were almost like it was given to them. When we started the farmers market, it was totally separate with a totally separate group of volunteers, and through attrition, a lot of them are not with us anymore. So it was just thrust onto the recreation director and her committee. And they're continuing the efforts. And I mean, I'm very happy that we will be having a farmers market for 2023. And I would also like to, at this time, ask members of the audience that are on the rec committee if there's anything they would like to add to the farmers market of note. I know the lobster truck's coming one time.
Lobster's coming twice.
Okay, which,
July and Thursday, I do believe, end of October, in October as well. So we got Cousin Maine coming.
yeah, which is feat in itself, because that should be a huge attraction. And that should really help revitalize the farmers market. But once again, we also lost a couple volunteers. I believe the chief's wife was there all the time, and she's not with us right now. So we are always looking for active volunteers to help out. Even you don't have to be there every Thursday, but if you would happen to be free, come down for a couple hours and help out. And that's the end of my report for this month.
Thank you very much, Mr. Panza. As far as the president's report, I have a couple pieces of really good information, good news to provide to everyone. The borough was a recipient of a $1 million local share grant, and that will cover our MS4 projects. That's a significant award for a borough of our size. That's a great amount of money for us to receive. $1 million. So to commend our Judy and her staff for applying for that.
Yeah.
And our engineering firm, Bennett Smith, also is our big help on that. They've been providing a lot of great services to the borough, and they've helped us get that $1 million grant, which is pretty amazing. We also received a $500,000 DC Department of Community and Economic Development grant that Senator Fontana was very instrumental in helping us receive, and that's going to go towards the engineering.
The Trumbull Drive Bridge project.
The Trumbull Bridge project. So we're efforting to look at other opportunities for us to get grant money or any other type of money to assist in that project. We have a lot of engineering fees plus the construction, the new construction. So we're working our way through trying to help us pay for that. So it's a significant award that we received, and we're very, very happy to get it. And it's a great thing for us. And that's really all I have as far as significant information. So Move on to the manager's report.
Just a couple of things, just to let everybody know that street sweeping, which is originally scheduled for this week, is delayed. Just watch the website for an updated timing on that. When it is announced and the week has been reset, just really important to for yourself and any neighbors, if you could remind everybody not to park on the street during that week. Summer part-time help, anybody interested in working part-time with the Public Works Department, we ask they are 18 years of age or older. Just really some landscaping, little help with building maintenance. We're going to be extremely flexible. We know a lot of young people these days don't want to go out and work 40 hours a week, 7 to 3:30. So we're willing to be flexible. Kids can't work 5 days a week. They just want to work 2 or 3. We're absolutely welcoming all to apply. Then just a reminder that for the mayor, since he's not here, the DEA drug take back is scheduled for April 22nd from 10 to 2 here at the municipal center parking lot. So if you have any prescription drugs that you're no longer in need of taking, which is always a good thing, you can bring them here and properly dispose of them. That's all I have.
Don't we have, since you're mentioning that, don't we have the
box.
paper shredding event coming up from
That's not.
the evening?
That's
May?
I believe it's.
Is it in May?
It's May.
Okay,
I think it is, but
Yeah, I think so too.
already then.
May 6th.
Thank you.
so for further information, we have the website, which hopefully can be helpful. We're certainly willing to take any good positives and negatives you have on that to help us grow that. But it's been a really great tool since we reinvented it. So that is really all I have to say.
Well, I would like to make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
So moved. Thank you very much. See you next month.
But not next